One. What is up, guys? Your homeboy Daniel from Tiny Studio Productions. And today for episode 23, we got the lovely, beautiful Ale Oliva, model,
Hi.
bartender, photographer.
And everything else in between.
The Jackie of all trades. Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I was born in Monterrey. I come from a very Mexican Catholic family. Where it's just me and my sister and my mom. My dad just passed away.
My condolences.
Thank you. I don't know, I'm very curious. So anything that calls my attention, I'll at least try to do. Not that I always do it right, but at least I try. So that's how I ended up doing.
You're an Aries like me.
Yes.
We like to try a lot of stuff.
Even if we fall flat on our ass, it's fine. As long as you try.
Yeah.
Just for the experience. Como dice Franco Escamilla, por la anécdota. Ya. O sea, de plano ya.
How did you start modeling?
Honestly, at Crisp. I was there bartending, minding my own business. Like I never do, but for the one time I was minding my own business. And a photographer came in and he was like, you look really pretty. Would you like to model? And I was like, no, thank you. I'm good. And he asked again. And I was like, okay, well, what's the plan? Because he did mostly nude modeling and I wasn't comfortable with that. And he was like, no, just a sexy bartender photo shoot, with your uniform and stuff I was like, okay, cool, I'll try. And but honestly, that's how it happened. But the reason why I did it was because I was coming out of recovery for my eating disorder, for anorexia. And it's hard for me to... I don't know if it's going to make any sense, but what I see in the mirror is not what other people see. So I had a gastric bypass about 5 years ago, and I went from 250 pounds to 140 in 6 months. So it messes up with the perception that you have of yourself because you lose so much weight so fast that you don't really, your brain isn't able to, it's not able to keep up with it. So, and then right after that, I had stuff happened. I developed an eating disorder, so I went down to 115 pounds. I was for about a year in therapy and another year out of therapy, but continuing a program.
Yeah.
And right when those 2 years hit, that's when I started working at Crisp and the photographer came in. I was like, well, I guess it's a sign. So I gave it a shot, and what it's teaching me is to look at myself in a different light, because it keeps me grounded. It's easier for me to see myself in a photo and know what I look like than to look in a mirror and understand what I look like.
It's also kind of like an escape because me as a musician, that's how I escape from all my depressions and anxiety, you know what I mean,
for that one moment you're creating something that is not you. At least for me, it's a character.
Yeah, most
of the time it's a character, because I ask, what do you want in the photo shoot? Okay, that's what I'm going to deliver. So I imagine for you in music is...
And I don't what you talking about that too. Also, that's why I'm I like my favorite holiday is Halloween, because it's
yes,
you get to be something that you're not, and it's not too much it can be part of self-esteem thing, but it also it's just you're in a different world, a different reality. You're not thinking of your daily
it's
responsibilities. Yeah, so I really appreciate people in cosplay and people that do all that, man. It's just it's a whole different world, and it's amazing. It's beautiful.
And for me, this last photo shoot that I did with Leslie, it was in lingerie, and I don't usually pose fully in lingerie.
That shit was fire, both of you ladies.
It was so good, but for me, at the moment, I wasn't feeling like, oh, it's Ale and it's me and I'm posing in lingerie. It felt more like, in this moment, I'm like this sexy ass woman in control of what she's doing, and that's what I want people to see.
Yeah.
So it allowed me to be something else for a minute and get out of my head.
Yeah.
And when I saw the pictures, it was like, wow, damn, like I did it. That's me.
They're great pictures, man. How was 2020 for you?
Interesting. It was very interesting. Well, because when it started off with a bang. Like, it was fun. I had just like gotten my job at Crisp. Like, I was having a lot of fun and I was changing my lifestyle. I was finally like eating right and like things were going great. And then when the pandemic hit, it hit 2 weeks before my birthday, which is pretty much your birthday too.
Yeah.
So you ended up having to celebrate by myself when I had like this big ass party planned at Crisp, and I was like, damn it, like that sucks.
Your birthday's also April 2nd?
No, my birthday's April 1st.
Oh, okay.
And but that's when I had my first photo shoot that I truly loved. And I fell in love with it. And it was with one of my friends. His name is Anthony Acosta. Yeah. He's a badass photographer, but he doesn't do photo shoots because of his job. He has a very high demanding job. And so he was like, for your birthday, I'll gift you a photo shoot. I was like, okay, cool. I'll give it a try. And I remember seeing those photos and thinking, damn, who's the girl in the pictures? Like, she looks hot. It took me a minute. And I think that's when I fell in love with modeling and like actually like doing this because it made me feel good.
Yeah. What has been your favorite vacation that you've like the spot that you've vacationed to?
It might be just because of nostalgia, but Zacatecas. And it's beautiful and people don't really travel a lot to Mexico. And it's protected by the UNESCO. So it's completely colonial. There's no pavement. Everything is like very like how it was.
Yeah.
So it feels like time stood still and you're transported somewhere else. And the weather is so pretty. And my dad used to take us every summer. So I don't know. It's just like nice memories.
I heard the weather like in Mexico, it's kind of well balanced, right? Like when it comes to like cold and all that, it doesn't get as cold over there, or it does?
It depends because like Monterrey is hot most of the year. It's like right here, but because they have cerros everywhere, it's humid. But like southern Mexico, it is a little more. You get like more of the 4 seasons.
Yeah. So what kind of music do you like?
Is it not obvious? Britney Spears, BTS, Christina Aguilera, Ariana Grande.
Nice.
Nirvana, Foo Fighters.
Hell yeah, Foo Fighters.
I love the Foo Fighters, dude. And everything else in between. And banda, I really like banda. Nobody likes banda, but it's so obnoxiously and loud that and my sister and I would always joke, entre más naco, más romántico. So
the only banda I like is like some of the songs are from Gerardo Ortiz, but I don't know if you consider that banda.
It is.
Yeah. He's more like chill romantic, banda. Right?
Yeah. But he has some really good corridos too.
Yeah, and then I like that song that I know is stupid. You probably thought it's stupid, but the one that Snoop Dogg did with Banda MS.
It was a good song.
You liked it? Some people were like, they weren't fucking with that. I'm like, it was good. Fucking interesting, dude.
It was interesting. Did you try his wine?
No, they have wine.
Snoop Dogg has wine.
Really?
It's a red wine blend and it's pretty good. And it's only like $10.
Do y'all have it there at work or no?
No, but they have it at Specs and Fellman's and it's only like $10-12.
Yeah, you gotta go try it out.
It's so good.
What is it? You said it's red?
Yes, it's a red blend, so it's not as dry as a cab.
I love dry though.
It's like a nice.
To make sure it's all around.
Yeah.
Favorite.
My mom thought it was too dry, but
yeah, I gotta go get some now.
Yes.
Favorite restaurant locally?
Nobody knows about this place and you all are sleeping on it. The best sushi is in Hidalgo.
Really?
Rock and Roll Sushi in Hidalgo. It's by the pump house, and it's like this cute little place. Well, no, it's not open for the public now, but it's like very rockabilly, and they play a lot of rock music from the 50s to today. And the sushi is so good. And then from 3 to 5, they have it like $5. So I'm
Nice.
always there.
Random question, but do you believe in aliens or ghosts?
All of them. All of them. Like, do you honestly think we're like the only ones here? Like, there are planets out there. Do you really think that we're gonna be like the only living things here?
Yeah, no, I think there's other existence out there. I try not to get into like religion as much because I grew up Pentecostal and all that, but I believe like there's more of a life existence out there. Like
Yes.
and like maybe I know like here like the way we picture aliens. Maybe they're it's something else. Maybe they're humans, or it could be anything. You know what I mean?
Yes. They're
Yeah.
just they're extraterrestrials. That's all they are. And ghosts, yes. And I could swear I've seen ghosts in my house before. I don't know if I made it up, but I think I saw a ghost outside my house.
That's scary.
I was walking to my neighbor's house because we were having a barbecue next door. And when I was coming back to my house at the time, my dad had a truck. And I was walking back and I was by myself, and I saw a guy leaning like this on the truck.
Yeah.
But he looked like transparent. But when I
Wow.
took a second look, there was nobody there. I was like,
Did you like freeze or?
no.
No.
I, like a good Catholic girl, I prayed and I ran.
Yeah, I'd be shitting bricks, man.
I went home and to my neighbor's house. I was like, "Wey, vi un fantasma!" Like, I was so excited about it. 'Cause my sister and I watch all those shows, and my
Yeah.
mom loves scary movies.
Yeah, I'm too much of a wussy. I don't like scary movies either. Like my best friend David, he likes them. I'm just like, nah,
Okay.
bro, I'm good.
I'll watch exorcism movies, but I will not watch other scary movies.
Exorcist is scary though. To me, that's the scariest. Like the girl, like I don't know.
It's gonna sound very crazy, and but I grew up seeing things similar to that in church.
Yikes.
When you grow up in like a very Christian, like very church-based, you're bound to see things.
I know,
I
like
think.
back then. Now I guess the news is more filtered, but I remember like in channel like I think Univision 48 or like sometimes they would
Primer
show
Impacto always had that
exorcisms, like you know what I mean, like people were doing like, and they would show it like on live.
Well, technically they're not called exorcisms because there's different levels to get to there. In Spanish they're called liberaciones,
Okay.
because it's one thing to maybe have a spirit, and then it's another thing to actually have like a demon or something, like a possession of sorts. So like there's different this is how much into religion I am. Like there's different levels into it.
Yeah. So like, has there been cases where it's not even those? It's just something mentally like.
Yes. So, for example, for myself, I was part of a church group, and we would get psychological evaluations done just to make sure that we were sound of mind. And in training to be a chaplain, which is a clinical pastoral counselor, we study a lot of psychology just to understand the difference between a possession and someone who has an illness, because maybe they're schizophrenic, or maybe they're seeing things because they're just chemically unbalanced and not because they're possessed.
Yeah, I have a friend that's schizophrenic, and that's something serious.
Yes.
Like damn, dude, I feel bad. Like fuck, that shit's deep.
I think mental illnesses as a whole are very stigmatized, because I remember, like, I'm very vocal about having an issue with anorexia. I'm very vocal about all these things, but mostly in our culture it's mostly like keep it hush, like te van a juzgar de loco, no manches, o sea. So
Yeah.
I think it's something that people need to talk about, because just because there's something chemically like not all there with you, it doesn't mean that you're bad or that you can't be functional. It just means that you need to take like different care of yourself.
Yeah.
Like for me, for eating, I have a really hard time eating in restaurants because I get anxiety. So my friends know, and they're patient with me, and they know that going out to eat with me, it's not like a 1 hour thing. It's going to take like 2 or 3 hours for me to actually eat.
Yeah.
So it's just knowing, having a good support and knowing yourself. Because I feel like if you sort of know when like triggers are happening, you can take like a better care.
Yeah. Off subject,
Yeah.
how do you take your coffee?
Like dessert. So like half a cup of milk, 2 drops of coffee, and like a pound of sugar. So basically anything from Starbucks,
Yeah.
I'll take.
You'll wait in line?
No, honey. That's why you download the app. When you download the app, you pre-order and you skip the line.
Does it give you like an ETA of when it's going to be ready and all that, or what?
Yes. So like when because I'm coming from Hidalgo to Huasteca for work.
Yeah.
So maybe about like an exit before, I'll put in my order, and by the time I get there, my order is ready. I just get down, pick it up, and
Damn. Smart.
I'm not only pretty, I'm smart.
How do you like your steaks?
I don't.
What? You don't eat steaks?
No. I'm like one step away from being a pescatarian if it wasn't for burgers. I won't eat steaks. I never have. And when I used to eat steaks, you're gonna hate me because you're very vocal about this, but I like them well done.
Oh. That's all my friends though. Like all of them, they like them well. Most of them.
But because growing up, like my mom, she's a chemist, so she's like, no, meat's supposed to be well cooked. If it's not well cooked, you could get sick.
And she's right, because every time I go eat a steak, I'm not bullshitting, I walk out of the restaurant and I throw up. Like, I guess maybe I've gastritis or what, but it never feels like my body.
Take
I guess
your
not
steak
used.
well done,
Yeah,
Danny.
no, but I still like it.
You're throwing up your food anyway.
Also, like, I'm lactose, so like I love ice cream and all that, and I still eat dairy stuff. You know what I mean? It kills me, but
yeah, like for me with my surgery, if I eat too much sugar, I get what's called dumping syndrome. And what it is like I'll pass out. I'll fall asleep.
Damn.
I'll just fall asleep.
Like a food coma or what?
Like no, like even worse, because like I'll like if it's too much. Like right now, I eat a lot of sugar. Like I pretty much got it, but at the beginning I would get like cold sweats, and then like randomly I just crash out. But ice cream was worth it.
So I know you do a lot of stuff, but what's something that you would want to collab with, like with someone here locally?
Candy Casket.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god,
Amazing.
she's so beautiful. She's
Yeah.
so beautiful, and her photos are always so good that it would be like a dream to model with her.
Yeah, she does amazing work, man.
She's freaking
From the
amazing.
shows that she's done with Chris Gallery, amazing work, man.
She's everything about her aura is very sensual and then very. I wouldn't know how to describe it, but I'm like.
And she's also a tattoo artist, right?
Yes, she's an apprentice and she's doing her master's in art, and she's like everywhere. She's really good at everything too.
So, what is your favorite liquor, beer, and wine?
Liquor, whiskey, beer, 5x5, the brunette, the bombshell brunette. I would die for that beer. Like I'm at the brewery pretty much every Sunday with my mom drinking beer there because I love their beer. And wine, currently the Snoop Dogg.
That's not. I gotta
But
try
Rocky,
it.
don't tell Rocky. If we're gonna show this to Rocky, then I'm gonna have to say the imaginary cap that we have there at the bar.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Okay, so who's your favorite local photographer?
Nacho Dang.
Yeah,
He's
man.
so good. He's so talented.
From the colors, everything that he does, from this post editing, all that, man.
I've worked with him before, and he just makes you feel so comfortable, and he makes it feel like you're just playing.
Yeah.
And then when you're done and he's done editing, it's like, damn, like, wow, he's so good, and he's got such a good eye for symmetry and color, and he's a well-rounded artist. He really is.
Yeah. Like, you don't know what's gonna come out of his next photo shoot, because it's just like,
and not even only photo shoots, like he paints.
Yeah, I've seen some of his paintings.
They're so abstract. They're so good. And he has one at the bar that we have, like, right next to the cash register.
Yeah.
And if you flip it over, it turns into a whole other painting.
Wow.
Yes.
I gotta see that one.
It's so cool.
Are you open to collab besides Nacho? Are you open to collab with anybody, whether it's photos or video shoots?
Yes. Honestly, yeah. As long as, like I said, I'm very curious. So as long as it sparks my curiosity and it's within, like, parameters that I like to stay within, which are pretty ample at, like, yeah.
What has been your favorite collab so far?
I did a photo shoot with Alleyway Marketing and Backdoor Vintage from here from Wesco. We did a photo shoot together, and they published it online on the online magazine, and it was so much fun. It was supposed to be like a 2-hour shoot, maybe like 1 or 2 hour shoot. It ended up being like close to 5. But we got some amazing photos, like really good photos. And then we went to her studio, and in the back of the store, she has her studio, and she has this really cool Andy Warhol painting that they did on the wall, the mural.
Yeah.
And she had the pink boxing gloves. So the photographer, Arnie, he remembered that there was this really famous Andy Warhol picture where he has like the gloves on.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of my favorite photos that I've ever taken.
Damn.
I had the gloves on, and I had this really cool cape and like a really cool hat. It was just like really fun. And she has so much clothes and so much stuff that you can come out with like the most amazing out of the wall outfits. And she's really good at what she does. And Arnie's a really good photographer. I like working with Fred because Fred is very organic.
Yeah.
Like, he'll make it easy and he'll capture movement. And Arnie, I feel he's more technical.
Yeah.
He sets up the shot, takes one picture, and that's it. So it just kind of depends on the mood, but those are like my 2 favorite, because I would say that it's my friend, but he hardly ever has time to shoot. So yeah.
What are your goals for 2021?
To be happy, to keep doing whatever makes me happy. And I don't really like to set like specific goals.
Yeah.
I like to know where I'm going, but I don't like to set specific goals, just because I feel like if you do that, you're walking like the horses. You know how they walk like this and they can't see to the sides. So my goals are to continue to do whatever makes me happy, to keep working, to keep producing, to maybe venture out into different artistic, maybe go back and do more photography that I left behind a little bit. You know, just like see what other things spark my curiosity, and see how much more I can grow as a person. Any
shout outs?
Yes, to Backdoor Vintage, to Rocky High, Chris Gallery family, hello. Just a whole bunch of friends, my friends, my family.
Any advice to anybody that's starting modeling, or in general, like any health advice, anything that you would wanna advise somebody?
Don't take things too serious, because the moment that you do, at least for me, it triggers anxiety. So it doesn't mean that you're going to take everything lightly, but learn to moderate and learn what your triggers are for whatever it might be. Just listen to yourself. mostly it's listen to yourself. Your gut will never be wrong. And in my religion, in Catholicism, we believe that we have what is called the Holy Spirit within us. And some people call it like a gut feeling. So if you listen to your gut feeling, you're not going to be wrong. And if you do what you love, you're not going to do anything wrong because you're doing something that you believe in.
Yeah.
So find within yourself what brings you peace. Know yourself, and once you do that, things flow a little better.
That's true.
And if you're starting to model or if you're thinking about doing it, do it with people you feel comfortable with. Like if for whatever reason a photographer doesn't make you feel comfortable, just stop and leave. Like you don't owe them anything and they don't owe you anything. You don't know. You just be comfortable, and if you're not comfortable, remove yourself from the situation. Like it's not worth it.
Where can people get a hold of you if they want to collab with you?
On Facebook, I have a Facebook page under Ale Oliva, and on Instagram, I'm under SAOR4188.
Awesome. Well, guys, there you have it. The beautiful Ale Oliva in the house, episode 23. I really appreciate you coming by, and I'm really grateful with you also that you've been there for the local artists on the events that we've done together at Chris Gallery. And
Yeah.
I'm excited to include you like on everything, you know, because you're very creative, you know.
Thank you.
And you got, not besides the beauty, you got the brains. So I mean, I like your input, you know. Like there's been random times where you've given me input here and there, and I would love for you to be more part of that movement, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So we're gonna do some stuff. We don't want to put it on here, but
Yes.
she's gonna come out in some projects pretty soon, and
It's exciting because it's so out of what I usually do that it's exciting.
Yeah. Well, guys, thank you for watching it, and music, peace, and love.